All right, guys. Hey, I'm here with Michael Roark.
Roark.
Roark. Yes. Roark Bees Farms.
Roark Acres Honey Farms.
Roark Acres Honey Farms. So I'm picking up my very first nuke. I've never done anything with bees. You guys saw in past videos of me putting the hive together, putting it in its place, all that kind of stuff. So we just loaded the nuke into the back of my truck, and I am gonna pick Michael's brain here for a couple minutes if he doesn't mind too much. And he's already told me some stuff like don't put them in the box tonight, which I had full intentions of doing, so I'm glad he's here to bounce some stuff off of. So so tomorrow I need to put them in, tomorrow afternoon is what you were saying?
Yeah.
About what time?
2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Okay.
The bees that are in that nuke right now, the foragers will be flying and orienting on their new location. So there'll be less bees in that box when you transfer into the new box, so less bees hassling you.
Okay. Feed.
Sugar water at a 1-to-1 ratio. That's 8 pounds of sugar to 1 gallon of water.
Perfect. Okay. And is that the best way to do that is just a mason jar, poke a hole in the lid? What do you do?
The Boardman feeder, which would accept the mason jar, goes in the front of the hive. If you don't have one of those, there's internal feeders, which take up the space up 2 frames.
Okay.
And if you don't have one of those, I have some extras here that you can take home with you.
So what I've got now, and maybe you're fixing to tell me this is going to completely not work, but is a queen excluder with a board with a hole in it, and my super just goes over the top of it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You could poke the holes in the lid, small holes.
Okay.
Like less than 1/16 of an inch if you're using a drill. I would use the tip of a nail and just poke them small.
Okay.
Because it needs to create a vacuum in there so that it doesn't keep dripping out.
Right.
But yeah, that works fine.
Okay.
And then keep that full for 2 weeks.
Tip of a nail, you said?
Tip of a nail or push pin or something like that.
Okay. And keep it full for 2 weeks. About how often do you think I could expect to have to fill that up?
The first couple of days, they may go at it a little bit slowly. But after the first round of brood that's in there hatches, the population will double, and they'll suck that down in a day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Typical, like, starting out first nuke, do you even expect to have honey the first summer? Or
I tell folks not to expect honey their first year. And this year, we've gotten off to a pretty rough start spring-wise. Normally, the nukes that we sell are just packed with honey. Like you pull the lid off and they built burr comb to the lid and there's just honey dripping everywhere because they've just been growing like crazy. This year that's not the case. The bees are a little bit lighter than I would like. That means they don't have as much stores. They're just not as beefy as stuff we've sold in the past.
Is it because of the weather? What plays into that? The wet spring we've had?
If it's cold and wet, the bees can't forage. And if they don't forage, they don't grow. So we do all of our nuke and queen rearing in East Texas, and so we went from we had rain all the way up to the very beginning of March. Then we had 2 weeks of good weather where we built the nukes, and right after we built them, the temperature dropped out again and got into the 30s for several nights, and then it started raining. So in a normal season where we would feed the nukes one time as soon as we build them, we fed them 3 times before we even got them home this year. And they're just eating it. They're not even storing anything. So that's why I'm telling folks. I tell folks to feed every year anyway. This year it's particularly important. Wow.
Well, I can tell you're a bee guy because there's bees flying around everywhere, and I'm like, and you're just not even fazed by it. So whenever I get the bees home, you've got a box that I'll show you guys here in a little bit. Do I put that just outside? Because where I'm living is not where I'm beekeeping. So.
Okay. I would put the nuke, it's going to be sunny tomorrow, so keep it in the shade. Okay. And you put it in the garage. Okay. Probably your best bet. They're sealed up. There's a door on each side where they can't get out. Okay. And then tomorrow, when you're going to go out to wherever you're keeping the bees, just put them back in the truck and carry them out there. Okay. Set your hive up. Set the bees there. Well, you're probably going to go straight from the box to there, so you won't be setting them on top like we talked about earlier. Right. Just set them on the ground. Take the lid off the hive. Pull your 5 frames out. Open your nuke box, make sure you have your smoker lit and your veil on. And give them a few puffs of smokes right inside of the door, on each end. Just a few puffs in there. That calms them down and gets them drinking the nectar that's available and thinking less about what's going on. And then take 1 frame out to give yourself some space, and then I'd grab 2 at a time for the next 2, and just set them in the same order they come out of the nuke box, right in the middle of your box.
Okay. So I heard you say earlier you have a lady coming to pick up 8 nukes, and I got 1. Is that typical that people order that much?
We, you know, we sell obviously everywhere from 1 up to 100. You know, some folks, they use nukes to grow. Like, so they've got 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 hives at home, and they can split their own hives, but you know, maybe they want even more, so they'll buy, you know, nukes. Like we bought, we had an accident last year where half of our bees got in a semi truck wreck. They were coming up here and the truck crashed in Paris. So we're half the size we were last year. So I bought a lot of bees myself this year in the spring.
Wow, that sucks.
It does. I mean, we went from 1,600 to 800 hives in a matter of hours.
And so I saw that you had your smoker, your puffer going over there. What's your favorite way to get that thing going? Do you use a blowtorch? I've seen people do blowtorch. Use cubes. What do you?
I used to use a torch, but now I have a small torch, like the kitchen butane type torch.
Yep.
And keep that in a bucket of horse bedding pellets. And you can get the horse bedding pellets at Tractor Supply for $6 a bag, $7 a bag, and it's like a 50-pound bag. They go a long way. And then I always keep cardboard. And so I'll tear up a small piece of cardboard, get a couple pieces of cardboard lit and down in the bottom of that. And then I add a good bunch of cardboard till I've got a good fire coming out of there. And then I put a handful of pellets in, not enough to smother the cardboard, and just kind of slowly build that base at the bottom till I've got a good coal base of the pellets that they're burning. And then I'll add to the rest of it on top of that. It takes, a lot of people rush through getting a smoker lit and then they're relighting it many times over. If you take 5 to 10 minutes to get it lit well the first time, it'll stay lit all day, especially these pellets.
Okay, great.
It's competition down in Texas a lot of times where we work in the spring. So your smoker can be lit the next day, you know, in the morning, still from the day before.
All right, well, do you want to tell people your website, how to find you, how to order from you, all that?
We have a store in Jinx on Main Street at 5th and Main, where you can buy honey and all manner of products with bees on them that my wife gathers from around the world, pretty much. Our website is roarkacres.com, and you can find us at right now at the Renaissance Fair in Muskogee. Pretty much anytime the expedition hall down at the fairgrounds is open, we've got a booth in there for various events. So.
Okay. You guys have a Facebook page?
We do.
Instagram.
Yep. Roark Acres on Facebook. Roark Acres on Facebook. Or on Instagram and Facebook. Yep.
Okay, great. All right, guys. Well, go check him out. He's been a ton of information. I'm sure I can call him. I've got his cell phone number, so I might be blowing him up, but I hope not
pictures.
too much.
I can answer questions with pictures.
There we go. Hey, that's better. Words. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, well, this was going to be a one-day video. I was going to go straight from here and shoot the video of putting them in, but I guess it's going to be a 2-day video now. And so you will see me on Mother's Day tomorrow afternoon installing the nuke. So until then, see you in a little bit.
Have fun.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, my pleasure.
Yeah.